Welcome to another edition of Healthier, Happier You. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and my co-host and founder, Bethany Monacovo. We're going to give you some of our different tips, and yes, I'm drinking China gunpowder. I only finished about half of it.
I know it.
And I got rave reviews on the demo when we showed that.
Yeah.
So people were interested in it. I got some of my friends making fun of it, but they love the tips. We're getting a lot of great feedback on this.
That's awesome.
And we appreciate all the likes on Facebook.
So much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching.
Exactly. And if you have more tips for us that we don't know about, just post them on Healthier, Happier You on Facebook. And if Bethany doesn't make a comment, you know I'll make a comment.
Absolutely.
And Bethany, what do you have to talk about today?
Well, today I just wanted to talk about exercise. And exercise means something different to everyone because it's different to everyone. Some people think you can only do it this way or you can only do this regime, but it's very broad. And that's what I wanted to chat about today.
Okay, we'll come back and we'll talk more about that after this break. Thanks for not changing that dial. I'm back to have a conversation with my co-host and founder, Bethany Monacovo. Let's dig right into this exercise and healthy portion here.
That sounds perfect. So I just kind of wanted to see what you do on a normal daily basis to exercise. What is exercise to Alan? Please tell me.
Well, I get up and I do some yoga stretching and exercise, not like I learned a little while ago.
Do you really? Is this like really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I don't make all this stuff up. Like I always tease people that, and breathe.
Yeah.
And I tease all these guys because a lot of guys are exercising and are all muscle bound. Well, I'm in decent shape for my age, not like I should be, but I do try to walk 5 days a week for a half hour or more. And I take hills and everything else. I don't like going to a track or mostly organized things. I think so far outside the box that I just wander around. You know, people are like, do you need a ride or something? I'm like, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm good to go.
But that's one of the things, I do start that each day.
Yeah.
And everybody knows I'm on Facebook a lot and a computer. So I'll get up every 10, 15 minutes, go walk around throughout the house or do some little chores, drink my tea, you know, as I'm doing 6, 7 cups in a couple hours. So I do move around and try to stay active and give yourself a break from staring at a computer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's great. And just when you are sitting in a computer or you're sitting to where you have to at a certain point in time, even when you're focusing on the computer for 30 minutes, it's super important that you just look away and focus for 20 seconds on something else. Your eyes truly, truly do need time to readjust and kind of give yourself a break, and your body too, from sitting there and just being, can you imagine? I can imagine to sit 8 hours.
Well, I used to be in, one of the reasons I do certain regimens like this in fundamentals, I was in a production department where you're almost chained to a machine at the Post-Gazette and Press. So you move out every half an hour, 15 minutes. So you're in a position that's ergonomically a nightmare.
I can't imagine,
You're bending and stretching, you're lifting from 8 to 40 pounds, you know, so many different times during each minute or two. Or in a half an hour. So that's why I'm more conscious of it, because you always get aches and pains. That's why we showed you turmeric and other things in my tea
anti-inflammatory, absolutely.
to start it. So you want to have that as a key. Yeah. And that's some of what I do, you know, just to keep active there.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important. I think that's great. I think that's great that you wander aimlessly and people think that you need rides. I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
But I know where I'm going, just so you know. Well, I do know.
Yes, good point, good point.
You have to make that. Well, you're asking me what I do. What do you do?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Just name a couple things.
Okay.
And then you can go back to if you want to know more about what I do.
Okay. Well, I used to be very, very hard on myself. I had to exercise every day because I came from a family where we were all overweight. I never was, but I looked at my mom and she always did yo-yo dieting. She was someone that would lose weight for a function and then she would gain it back. And I don't mean like 10 or 15 pounds, like 200 pounds she would gain.
And
if you see my mom now, she's skinnier than me, but that's me working with her for years to do that. So for me, when I saw my family, I really didn't understand what healthy was. it's a journey. So I would.
And it's a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it takes time. And it's even, you never learn, you're never fulfilled. You always have to keep learning and learning everything. But I was hard on myself to where it was 6 days a week, hours at a time I would work out, to where I wouldn't eat this, to where I thought, okay, this isn't life and this isn't healthy. This is not where I want to be. So I came to a point where I started going to school to be a holistic health coach. And through that, I was able to supervise myself and think, this isn't freedom. This isn't life. I don't want to be that person like that. And I know there's a lot of people that are addicted to working out,
Sure.
which hurts my heart. And that's scary too, because they can't, they have to get up and work out. And then after they come home, they have to work out. And that dopamine that we release, which is a good thing, could also be a bad thing. So it's finding that happy medium when you're working out, and it's doing it with freedom. When I ever if I ever go to the point where I feel that I can't, I have to work out, or my day is going to be, yeah, I won't work out. I won't do anything.
The question I have is, how long do you, now that we know some history there, I can't believe you were like that.
I know.
Because you don't seem like a regimented type of person.
I'm not anymore, and that's probably why. I'm very like fly by the seat of my pants now, so I think that's
Welcome
why.
Welcome aboard.
Yay, it's a great life when you're like that, right? Right?
Definitely.
But
so what do you do now?
Now I work out for 30 minutes. I go to Fuse Fitness Studio. I love it, love it, love it. When I'm not there, if I'm away, I walk. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing yoga, or I'm dancing, or I'm salsa dancing. It's just being active in my life. And it's something that I really enjoy, to where now it brings me tremendous just freedom.
Sure.
And that's where we want to be.
And happiness, as our show is.
Yeah.
Healthier, happier
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. So it's a very good thing. And with exercise too, a lot of people, I think, come to the point where they're like, I have to exercise again today.
Well, you hear that all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's so sad, because it's so fun when I go to work out and I'm at Fuse or wherever I'm at. It's so fun because you're with people maybe that are also like-minded, like us, that have that mentality. But to be able to exercise, it controls your weight. That is a good thing, you know, but it also makes you happy. But it also combats health issues and different types of conditions. So you're going through different things that boost your energy. It's just taking it from a negative place and spinning it, making it a good thing that you're doing. And our body, all in all, what is it? It's a temple. We need to take care of it for whatever the time that God graces us with that time. Is just to be able to use our time wisely and have fun with it too, you know?
Well, I'm glad you brought up this conversation with both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry I surprised you, although that was good.
Yeah.
Because you're like, really? So,
yeah, you always do. You surprise me a little bit with everything, for sure. For
well,
sure.
that's why we make a good team on Healthier, Happier You.
Yeah, we do.
Don't forget to like
we
the
do.
page. You'll hear more of this, and you'll see this show.
Yeah.
It'll be broadcast within a week, so we appreciate that. Keep
Yeah.
watching us on YouTube. And Verizon 32, everywhere from the city of Pittsburgh, Bethel, all the way out in all the communities, you can watch us. People are asking where else. Comcast 7, only to Bethel, and you have to, you know, be in Bethel to watch us on Comcast 7. That's just how it is. But we are in everywhere from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford on Verizon 32. And we'll have times, we'll try to post that up out of you can always go to the site BPTV, their home, on, you know, just Google that, and you'll find out more about us and what we're doing here. And I always want to thank Dave Cable and the community of Bethel Park, and our cameraman Zach.
Thank you, Dave.
He's a
and
good
Zach.
man on the camera, making us look good and pointing to the
Always.
right camera so I can find the one to look at. So thank you on that. And Bethany, you have any closing remarks for this segment?
No, I think I'm good to go. Thank you for asking.
Well, you always have something to surprise me with another comment or
Yeah,
two.
this is
We're not
true.
going to talk nutrition. That'll be a coming show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
stay tuned for the next show. She has some treats that are so healthy, you will not believe it. She told me, and I'm keeping a secret. I'm not telling anybody. And that's it for this segment. We'll be right back with our special guest.
Andy Amrine, EV True Value Hardware, with the Bethel Park Volunteer Scholarship Fund. This prize here that my fellow producers and I are standing behind is a Weber SP310 stainless steel propane barbecue grill.
We have the greatest stainless steel Weber grill in history. Come buy these $1 tickets right now.
These tickets are available now at multiple Bethel Park locations.
Tickets are available every day, 7 days a week at EV True Value Hardware.
Here at the front desk at the library.
Tickets are also available at BPTV's offices during regular office hours. If the lights are on, come on in. We're friendly, we promise. We'll sell you tickets. Who's doing that?
You heard the locations. I am a location. Come and see me or out in the streets. On my show, you get the talking machine going with buying $1 tickets everywhere.
Mayor Allen will pull the winning ticket during the regular council meeting on Monday, June 8th, live on BPTV.
Thank you for supporting the Bethel Park Volunteer Scholarship Fund. Buy your tickets today.
Or else.
Welcome back. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, one of the co-hosts of Healthier, Happier You. Thanks for watching us still. Bethany, what else is going on?
Well, I wanted to give a fun fact before we introduced our friend. It was interesting because you know how some people say, oh, don't eat the whole egg, don't eat, just eat this, just eat that. So,
yes, I do. People tell me that all the
right?
time.
And you're just like, oh, what do I do? So I was just perusing the internet, and CNN said its promising studies show that now women and men only have to work out 20 minutes a day. And then they came back out and said there's another study suggesting show that women should work out an hour a day just to maintain their weight. So what the heck is the right answer is my question. I don't want to work out for an hour a day, do you?
No,
I
not
don't.
today.
Yeah, no, not today. But I have a very good friend, Jay, and he is the founder and owner of Fuse Fitness Studio. And I kind of just wanted to hand it over to him so he can explain what Fuse is. So, Jay.
Okay. Well, Fuse Fitness Studio is a private personal training studio located in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. I guess you could say we specialize in training busy adults that want to lose weight, look better, feel better, move better. But that's kind of the quick summary. It's a private training studio, not so much a big gym, but more of a family, more of a small, close-knit community.
Jay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Could you tell them your name? Because you're a Bethel Park resident. You actually live very close by.
I do. We're neighbors.
And you started this business 3 years ago. I thought it was just last year because I noticed it had gone up and see people around there.
So yes, I moved to Bethel Park about 5 years ago now, and we opened Fuse. It was 3 years ago.
Okay.
We opened Fuse. We were in the area before that, but yes, we did open Fuse 3 years ago.
No, it's great to have a young entrepreneur here who's a newbie in the business like
Very
this,
much.
and you come out of physical therapy, which I found interesting.
Yes. I originally wanted to be a physical therapist. I've bounced around. I became a massage therapist as well. But my original goal was to be a physical therapist. I stopped probably 2 years early because I wanted to go the exercise science route. And then I studied exercise science and massage therapy, also nutrition.
Where did you study at?
I went to Cal U. I also
Okay.
studied at Point Park originally, changed my major, moved to Cal U.
And that happens in school.
Often. And then I traveled the country for a few years just studying just the latest techniques and equipment, which helped tremendously.
That's great. And then you decide to start this business?
I did, yes. I just had a passion. I just saw such a void in the industry. There was gyms everywhere, but I didn't feel like a lot of them were addressing the core problems, which are nutrition, lifestyle, and of course fitness as well. So we wanted to open Fuse, which Fuse meaning, one of the meanings is to combine, blend several elements into one. That's basically what we do at the studio. We combine healthy eating, which you guys know a lot about, active lifestyle, and of course personal training.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's a great combination. I'll let you continue the interview. You know, as a talking machine, I got to at least ask a couple questions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just wanted to share that Fuse is completely different than what I experienced. When I went to gyms, truthfully, I kind of had anxiety a little bit because I thought, oh gosh, like I have to get looking halfway decent, and then I have to go work out, and then is someone going to be on the machine? And when I came to Fuse, we're like a family. Like Go Fuse, like everyone is like a family. We love each other. We hang out outside of Fuse. I have gals that we go salsa dancing. It's truly, you have a great way
It's a
of
community.
making it like a family community.
That's correct.
That
You're
is
exactly
awesome.
right.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds like it, the way you described it.
Yeah.
You've actually become friends outside of it. So go to Fuse. How do they get a hold of you? Because I like shameless promotions.
Yes.
Before we get into the video that you and Bethany did, we'll ask some questions to that
Sure.
about it. But could you have a number or website?
Sure, we have
Why
a
don't you
website.
give that now?
Yes, FuseFitnessStudio.com. That's FUSE, fitnessstudio.com. That's probably the easiest way to go through our website. Our email is info@FuseFitnessStudio.com. We're also on Facebook as well, as with you guys.
I
We're
think
on
I liked
Facebook.
your page just in anticipation of you being here.
Oh, that's
What
great.
is
What's your
your
phone
Facebook?
number? Tell us a phone number then.
We have an
And they-
800 number, 800-390-6080. And that goes to one of the trainers. We normally have that linked to one of our cell phones. There's 4 trainers, so they could also call the 800 number.
And is the Facebook, what is the Facebook Fuse?
It's just / Fuse Fitness Studio.
Okay.
Facebook, yeah, facebook.com / Fuse Fitness Studio.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Awesome.
We got that out of the way, the shameless promotions out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, what were you guys doing at the Bethel Park Community Center?
That's a good
'Cause
question.
Yeah.
I walked in, Dave Cable let us go out of the studio.
Yeah.
Zach had all the gear like a mule, so he was exercising.
He was,
And then you
he
guys
was.
were doing stuff in the hardwood floors with all the mirrors around and the camera.
Yeah.
What was this?
I'll kind of hand it over to Jay. This is what we do normally before Fuse starts, but I'll let him explain further.
Please.
We were showing basically a unique way to warm up, a unique way to get your body prepped before working out. There's a lot of different ways to warm up. We could do soft tissue work. We could do traditional mobility exercises. But what I was showing over in the other studio, we're showing you how to warm up using the simple but not at the same time the developmental sequence that we've all done before.
Here's what I like. You're showing us what children are doing to reboot our system. So I'm going to steal a good line when I get one. So explain what this rebooting is, because we only got a couple more minutes for
Sure.
you to explain
Yeah.
what a 7-minute video was.
Sure. So, for instance, we start with the diaphragmatic breathing. Most of us, from sitting at a desk with poor posture, we no longer breathe well.
Yeah.
So we breathe normally with our neck, with our shoulders, and some other muscles that are not supposed
To
to
interrupt
breathe.
you, how can you tell when you're breathing from your diaphragm? Can you explain that to
Normally,
somebody?
you see the stomach, and you can see that with the child breathing. Normally, you can see their stomach expand with each breath in, which
Yeah.
is very normal for a child. That's how they breathe. And for us, we have to practice these basic developmental sequence and movements again. Most people, when you see the video, you're going to assume that it's too easy when you watch these head nods and the rolling patterns and crawling. People often laugh, but when they get on the floor, they realize they can no longer move and they lost all their original movement
Explain,
patterns.
Bethany was doing perfect form there.
She was.
Now, explain how she was when she first met you.
Hey.
She was a mess.
Oh,
no,
sorry. Nice.
no, she was.
No, because she admitted as much. So I just want you to
I
know.
was fit, but I didn't know form.
Sure, she was fit. She was doing yoga. She was active already, but we just introduced
But I mean
her.
the form of it.
The form, yeah.
Yeah.
We just had to we had to teach her, and she had to practice and kind of repattern some of these basic movement patterns. And once you own the movements, once you're able to do these simple movements, breathing and head nods and crawling and rolling, you could of course move into other places. There's many other things you could do to warm up. But if
Absolutely.
someone cannot breathe well, of course they should learn how to breathe, because if you're not breathing well, the workout, it doesn't matter what the workout is.
Okay guys, we're going to show you a great way to help reboot your body. This is going to be perfect for anyone who is a beginner and even people that are a little bit more advanced with fitness. Bethany here is going to be demoing, and I'm just going to walk you through each step. This is not a very traditional stretching and warm-up, but it's an excellent way to warm up and also a great way to spend your off days to help recover from your workout. So exercise 1 is diaphragmatic breathing. Bethany's going to lie down. Her head's going to rest onto her hands. And this is such an important exercise because most of us don't breathe using our diaphragm. Most people breathe using the muscles in their neck and their shoulders, which creates a ton of problems. So what you're going to do is, with your head down, relaxed here in the shoulders, you're going to breathe in through your nose and into your stomach. You should be able to feel your belly pressing into the ground with each breath. Probably going to go for about 2 minutes. And you do have to take your time. It is more challenging than you think, since most of us don't actually engage the diaphragm and breathe properly. So after about a minute or two, she'll transition onto her forearms, and we call them head nods. So she'll stay down on the floor, okay, and she'll look up at the ceiling and then down at the floor, tucking her chin in. And repeating this, only go through the available range of motion. There shouldn't be any pain or discomfort. You want to stop before there's any discomfort in the neck. And she'll go up and down. And again, we'll do all these for about 1 to 2 minutes, pre-workout and on the off days, to help reboot your system. And then she'll go look over her left and right shoulder, staying in the same position. She'll look over at me and then look over at the wall. And again, a lot of people, especially if you sit for your occupation, you're going to be very tight, very restricted in your back and shoulder. So you only want to go within your available range of motion. Perfect. And she'll do that for 1 to 2 minutes. And the next one's a little bit trickier. If you want to watch, maybe I could demo this one, Bethany. The next one is rolling. And as you may have noticed, we're going to go through the developmental sequence that most children go through. While it sounds simple, all of us have lost the ability to actually perform these basic movement patterns. And once we lose these basic movement patterns, more advanced ones actually become much more challenging as well. So for rolling, you could start face down, and you're just going to lead with one arm and roll onto your back. Okay? Legs should be straight, and then you're going to roll back on to your stomach. Okay? Much more challenging than you think. The legs have to stay still. The arms lead the movement. You're going to roll onto your stomach and onto your back, and then after that you could switch and do your left arm leading over and left arm leading back. So it's something you definitely want to take your time with. And again, we're going to do all these for about 1 to 2 minutes. And the important thing is, if you can't roll all the way over, it's okay to stop halfway. I'll demo that for you. So if you go to roll when you get stuck, if you're restricted and tight, it's okay to stop and then to come back and rest. Okay? So again, rolling left side, right side. Again, probably about 1 to 2 minutes for each side. And then we're going to transition to a quadruped position, which is on all fours, if Bethany doesn't mind. And if she doesn't mind, she'll turn sideways so you can see her. Perfect. So the quadruped position, again, it gets the shoulders on, it gets the hips moving. Very basic movement, but again, a lot of people are so tight in their hips, they're not actually able to sit back as Bethany is. So with her chest up, eyes forward, she's going to shift her butt back towards her heels and then come back. And just do this again for about 2 minutes. Most people, especially males, will probably stop here, and then their back will start to round. So you want to stop before this back rounds or before you have any discomfort in your knees or hips. And then she'll shift forward and then backwards again. Again, eyes forward. If you're tight in the neck, your head may actually stay down a little bit further, but just try to get your eyes up as far as you can. Following that, 1 minute of rocking. She's going to stay back, put one hand behind her head. Either hand, you're going to do both sides. She's going to open up towards the left side and then come back down. Great way, especially for those who sit, to open up your mid-back or your thoracic spine. And she's still working on breathing right now. She's still turning her head as she can tolerate. And she's going to do the other side as well. So left, right side, and you can see her back stays nice and flat also. Perfect, thank you. And we'll do one more, which is crawling, the most challenging one out of them all. Most people hear these exercises, rolling, crawling, and head nods, and they assume that they're too easy. The reality is most people, probably 99% of the people that come into our studio, can't actually do these. So crawling, another developmental pattern you see children do, but we all lose that pattern from sitting and from being sedentary.
And it took us, truthfully, when we first started, we thought we could do it, but our backs were rounded, we were too high up. It really took effort for you to show us how to properly do it.
Yes, and it's a lot to do with your coordination. Most of us also lose coordination along with our mobility, so we become stiff and we lose the ability just to move through these basic patterns. So very, very important. And I could actually probably demo that for you. I won't be able to go too far since we don't have that much space to move. So eyes forward, knees could stay on the ground or they could come off the ground. So if you're starting, you may just want to do it with your knees on the ground. Maybe take 5 steps up and then 5 steps back. Okay? More advanced folks may take the knees off the ground. And again, you want to move alternating legs. So you want your left arm and your right knee to move Again, you see children do this, they do it perfectly. Children have perfect mobility, perfect core strength, especially considering the size of their head in comparison to their body. They're much stronger than most adults, just pound for pound. So do these, a great way to re-establish some basic movements in the body. Initially, this looks way too simple, way too easy, and I can promise you it's not. It is very challenging, and you only want to go within your available range of motion and do what you have time, do just what you have time to use with. So 1 minute on each exercise would work great. If you have more time to work with, then 2 minutes would work great as well. But other than that, that's a nice way to reboot the system, great way to warm up, great way to spend off-day workouts as well, just to help recover post-workout.
One thing they may not notice in the video, and you did mention it, she's breathing the whole time as she went left, right,
Yes.
on the floor, etc. Now, can you show something right here how you would breathe? You know,
Sure. So if you're
just-
sitting at your desk,
Yeah.
you can put your hand on the belly
Yeah.
just for feedback,
Yeah.
and breathe into your nose. And as you're breathing in, you're trying to breathe as deep as you can. And you can see both of you kind of shrug just a little bit. You want to try to relax your neck, your face, and just breathe in.
I'm under pressure here. I'm not used to the cameras as much. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
No.
So it's an
Yeah.
easy way. We like to get people back down onto the floor because the floor gives them feedback and they can relax their head on their hands. And there's a lot of different ways to practice breathing, as you know, with yoga. There's many other ways. That was a nice, simple way to start, especially for someone who's not used to working out.
Right.
So, but definitely a great way to spend 5 to 10 minutes a day, pre-workout, post-workout, even off days, just to
Yeah,
reestablish some of these
absolutely.
basic patterns. Like I said, most people are surprised how hard they are.
True. And then may I also interject and say that most people are so worried about doing a heavy weight or the form isn't correct. He kind and lovingly will just kind of be like, hey, that's not right. Like, let's work on your form, because that's most important. It doesn't matter what you're lifting
Exactly.
unless
You don't
your
want
form
joint,
is off.
ligament problems,
Sure.
back
Oh,
problems,
absolutely, yeah.
hamstring problems,
Yeah,
neck
absolutely.
problems. I mean, I said enough
Yeah,
problems. This
yeah.
is all positive. You have great tips.
Thank you.
What would do you have 1 or 2 tips you could close with that maybe you know, would help
sure.
them for the future, and then they can come to your place? You know where it's at, Stoner Plaza.
Yeah.
Yes, Stoner Center. First thing, I obviously come back and watch the show because nutrition is number one. I really wish it wasn't. I wish we could work on fitness and not have to be concerned with, you know, food journals
True.
and everything. But the first thing you want to do is focus on nutrition, and secondly, you want to work on lifestyle. If you are sedentary all day long, all week long, and only go to the gym 2-3 times to work out, it's probably not going to end well. You need to be active more than just your strength workout, more than just your conditioning workout. So
Yeah.
I would say that's the hierarchy. Address nutrition first, active lifestyle, which could be walking, could be jogging, could be riding a bike, playing a sport. And then third would be a strength and conditioning program, which could look wildly different depending on who you're speaking with and what their goals are.
Right.
Jay, this is
good.
great. Tell them your name again, because they can ask for you.
My
My
name's-
neighbor.
Jason Zawodniak. A lot of people just say
Jay.
JZ because Zawodniak's too long. But Jason Zawodniak, and again, it's Fuse Fitness Studio, fusefitnessstudio.com, and you could contact us through our email or phone number or Facebook as well.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Jay-Z. I appreciate it. My
Pleasure.
co-host and founder, Bethany Monacovo, what do you have to close with here?
All I have to say is that I think anything that you do that is making your body in movement, you shall stay in movement. So just doing it with freedom and having fun and taking care of your body, and all is well from there.
And I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Bethany, Jay-Z. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming on the show, neighbor. And thank all of you for watching us on Verizon 32 everywhere in the Pittsburgh area, including the city and outside. Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, and our fans are growing. Please like our page. We'll like yours. We'll pass the like on. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We'll see you next week, and we're going to have some treats for Dave Cable and Z-Dog here to try, and they're healthy.
Yes.